Biden signed the Social Security bill that gives boost up to $1,200 to a number of Social Security recipients, but rest of the Social Security recipients, and a majority of it, feels cheated. Social Security Fairness Act signed into law by Biden, enhancing retirement benefits for millions, but this is for 3 million people only. The rest of the 67 million Social Security recipients are asking many questions.
This bill will take $200 billion over that 10-year period out of the Social Security Trust Fund without any offsetting payment to it. So that is to right a wrong for a small percentage of people that should get fairly treated. They are going to raid $200 billion with a B over 10 years to pay for this.
I'm going to show you this entire video from Senator Tom, and let me know in the comments below if you agree what Senator Tom had to say about Social Security Fairness Act. A number of Social Security recipients are raising the questions that why we are not included in this bill, why this bill only gives boost to 3 million Social Security recipients when the government knows that 72 million Social Security recipients receive these benefits. So why you are doing it for only 3 million people? Look at this. This bill will give a number of Social Security recipients who work in the public sector up to $1,190. Can you imagine getting $1,200 worth of boost to some Americans who work in the public sector, while rest of the Social Security recipients are asking that, what about us? Well, I'm going to give you all the details in this video, but before I start the video, I would like to ask you just for a little favor. If you appreciate our content, then please smash the like button on this video, as it helps the video and the channel as well. Going into the details, new Social Security law may face problems under Trump, economists say, and why they're saying this, and this is very important if you don't know about it. Well, President-elect Donald J. Trump said that when he'll come into the power, he will eliminate taxes for Social Security, and it's for all 72 million Social Security recipients, which includes SSI and SSDI recipients as well. So he's doing it for all, while the current administration only worries about 3 million Social Security recipients, and they're ready to spend $200 billion on these people. Well, don't get me wrong, it's right. They've been struggling, they've given it, and that's what Senator Tom said. But what about the rest of the Social Security recipients who feels that they're cheated, who feels that they're left because they're not American enough? Do you know that around 5 million Social Security recipients are living under poverty and they're receiving below poverty level checks and nobody cares? But suddenly when these senators started working for these 3 million public sector workers, everything seems fine to them. Do you know that two senators, John Larson and Bernie Sanders, has been talking about Social Security for decades? They have two very important bills. One is from John Larson, that is known as Social Security 2100 Act, which is calling for across-the-board increases in Social Security, while the other one is from Bernie Sanders, also known as Social Security Expansion Act, which is calling for $2,400 increase in Social Security benefits that includes SSI, SSDI, and it's a fixed benefit. So that translates to $200 increase every single month. Well, nobody is ready to vote on those bills, while this bill, the Social Security Fairness Act, was passed in such a rush that it made 67 million Americans feel cheated, and they're left out because they're not worthy of the attention from these lawmakers. Remember that President-elect Donald J. Trump got the popular vote, and one of the reasons is talking about Social Security and eliminating the taxes on Social Security, and no one is talking about this. And the reason is simple: 72 million votes. Of course, anyone would get the popular vote, and yet no one is talking about it. Well, let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this whole situation? Well, moving on, let me show you this entire video clip from Senator Tom, where he talked about Social Security Fairness Act, and he was opposing this bill because he said that it's injustice to rest of the 67 million Social Security recipients. Let's watch it, then I'll come back and give you the details about this Social Security Fairness Act and more details that will shock you.
That pulls insolvency forward by 6 months. Now, 6 months doesn't sound like a lot if you're talking, years and years and years into the future, but we're estimated to be reaching insolvency within the next 9 to 10 years. Suddenly, 6 months becomes a pretty significant amount of time. So we're bowing to, we have people here who have voted against bills before because they say, I don't like the idea of something not going through regular order, getting dumped on us at the last minute and voting on it. Ladies and gentlemen, this bill has not even had a hearing in any committee in the House or the Senate. It got sent to us through a procedure called a discharge petition, which means that they've discharged their duty of doing regular order, sent it to us, and now we're about to take a vote today without having voted on it. Now, I know there are a lot of people that say Tom Tillis must be committing political suicide because how could you be against Social Security fairness? People asked me the same question when I was against the PACT Act that my office helped author. The PACT Act was a veterans bill, $1 trillion bill that we had a commitment to take through regular order to get it right before we passed it. And I talked to veterans groups who were concerned with my lack of support for a bill that I helped author. And I said, it's because I think you're going to regret it by us not thinking through the implications. I said, it wouldn't surprise me if 2 years from now, you're going to see and realize the very challenges that I told you about. But they said, you know what? We think it'll work itself out. Well, you know what happened almost 2 years to the month? We're $3 billion in the hole for the current year veterans budget and $15 billion in the hole going forward because we didn't do our homework. We caved to the pressure of the moment instead of doing this on a sustainable basis. Now, I don't know how many people are going to oppose the bill today. It is likely to move through. But to those of you who are looking past the regular order and fixing the things that I know are not fixed in this bill, own it when we have to come back and fix it. I will come back and fix it. I will help with Social Security reform, but know that you're making the job harder to fix a trust fund that is within 10 years of going insolvent. It would be easy for me to talk to my friends at the Fraternal Order of Police and say, yeah, we're going to get this done. And by God, I hope somebody over the next 8 to 10 years fixes Social Security in the future, because in 10 years, there will be a mandatory 17 minimum, 17% cut in the Social Security benefit across the board.
Now you know that this bill was passed in such a rush that this bill had no hearing at all. Well, it's called a discharge petition, which pushed this bill forward. And yes, the senators voted on it. But two bills, the Social Security Expansion Act from Bernie Sanders and Social Security 2100 Act from John Larson, they've been begging to vote on that bill, but no one listens to them. Well, that's why the rest of the 67 million Americans who receive Social Security feels cheated. Well, let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this whole situation? And are you also the one who feels cheated right now? Because if you don't raise your voice, nothing will happen. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Till then, please take care and have a nice day.